Boruto is not that bad. There you go. I said it. I know. That might be a bombshell to some of you, but Boruto is not that bad. Actually, let me rephrase that real quick. I don't think that the Boruto manga is that bad. However, I do think the anime is less good. Let's just put it that way. Now, if you're not familiar with Boruto, let me give you a quick rundown. Boruto is the sequel series to Naruto. It started serialization in 2017 and since then has grown quite a bit in Japan. However, that popularity is not also positive. Boruto has been getting a lot of hate ever since its serialization and anime adaptation was released. In this video, I'll be looking at both the anime and manga, and giving my own thoughts. I'll also give a brief comment on the hate this series has received over the years. So I guess we could start with the anime. So I first started watching Boruto around the end of last year. I had just finished Naruto, and while the ending of that left me with some mixed feelings, I decided why not try out Boruto. I looked at some reviews and videos on it, and oh boy was I surprised. A lot of the videos I looked at were just memeing the show or straight up flaming it. However, I still decided to give it a chance. Maybe the internet's opinion was just shit. So I began to watch it, and I slowly realized what everyone was talking about. I trudged along the show, trying to stay awake for as long as I could during each episode. So if you can't already tell just from that sentence, I'm not too fond of the anime adaptation. Now, I know there's going to be those comments that say, "Oh, come on, dude, it gets so much better, just watch more episodes and you'll see." Look, man, if an anime can't hook me within a few episodes, it's pretty hard for me to continue. Even the Boruto anime didn't hook me in the beginning, but I still continued. Let me say, it did not get much better. See, I have many problems with the Boruto anime. First off, the main cast is just kind of boring. This is also a problem with the Boruto manga, however it later corrects itself somewhat in later chapters. However, from what I've watched of the anime, the cast just wasn't all that great. Boruto is just really annoying and he doesn't have the main fundamental idea that Naruto had. That fundamental idea, at least in the beginning, was all about hard work and determination. We watched Naruto because we wanted to see him rise to the top with hard work and dedication. And, because he was ridiculed. Boruto, that is just thrown out of the window. There's no ridiculing since his father is the Hokage. Also, the power scaling is a pretty big problem. He's already decently strong even as a genin, and with the introduction of the stupid robotic jutsu tools, you can basically master most jutsu in a couple of days or even a day. Now look, I'm not gonna rant all about the Boruto anime because it's basically beating a dead horse if I do so. I wanted to focus more on the manga side of things and how I feel about that, as I feel the manga side of things isn't talked about as much because everyone's just beating Boruto anime into the ground. Okay, now I will begin by saying that the manga is far better than the anime. The manga, especially in recent chapters, has actually gotten pretty decent. Boruto has been getting some more character development and not just completely been a hopeless brat, and the tone of the story is far darker than the anime. Another thing I wanted to touch on, which is the tone. The anime's tone is a bit too lighthearted for my taste, at least compared to Naruto. However, the manga's tone feels darker and just feels more in line with what the tone should be as a Naruto sequel in my opinion. Okay, so back to Boruto himself in the manga. I feel Boruto is definitely better in the manga. Especially in recent chapters, he has been growing as a character and not acting all so bratty like he did previously in the anime. Also, some of the characters introduced have been pretty interesting. I found that Kawaki is pretty cool. By the way, he's one of the characters in the manga. I'm pretty sure he was introduced in the anime recently, but I'm not so sure. And, well, it seems like he'll be playing a big role in the future of the Boruto manga, which I am pretty excited for. However, the Boruto manga isn't that great either. First off, the enemies are basically just Otsutsuki. You remember those guys from the last part of Naruto? Yeah, those are pretty much the main enemies in this series. Now, I'm not saying that Otsutsuki are all bad. In fact, the current villain in the manga is an Otsutsuki and is pretty awesome. He's pretty cool. However, it is a bit boring to just have Otsutsuki and just alien species. It was nice when it was just ninjas battling ninjas. Hopefully, we'll get more interesting enemies who are ninjas instead of just aliens. Like, for example, maybe some ninja from the Leaf Village could betray the village and then Boruto has to face them off or something. I'm not so sure, but hopefully we can get some ninja versus ninja combat. Also, just like the anime, the power scaling isn't that great at all. Basically, the only people fighting now in the series are Naruto, Sasuke, Boruto, and sometimes Kawaki. There's pretty much no chance for any of the other characters to go up against the current enemies in the series because they're not powerful enough. Now, I get that this is a result of the Naruto series unfortunately escalating the power levels like a lot of other shonen do. One last thing I do want to comment on is the art. Now, I think most of us can agree that Naruto's art was probably the weakest out of the big three, that being Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece. Now, that's not to say the art of Naruto was bad in any way, just not as good as the other two in my opinion. Okay, let's get back to the Boruto art. So, the Boruto manga's art is honestly pretty decent. It's nothing spectacular, but it's nothing bad either. It's just decent. It is plain and easy to follow. I can understand what's going on in most of the panels, so it isn't bad, but it isn't something like Berserk level, for example. Obviously, I will be more lenient since it isn't Kishimoto himself doing the artwork, as he did get someone else to do it, which is understandable. I mean, he'd been writing and drawing Naruto for well over a decade, so I think he would definitely want some kind of break. However, the new artist still does a nice job, as the art in Boruto is still pretty decent. Nothing amazing, but nothing terrible either. So, in conclusion, all in all, whatever, the manga really isn't that bad. I'd go so far as to say it's pretty decent. It isn't the best thing in the world, and there are numerous problems with it. Like, for example, how I already mentioned the existing power escalation problem, and some of the enemies can be kind of lazy. However, it still is decent, and the recent chapters have actually been pretty good. So I'm definitely interested to see what the manga has in store. I'll definitely be reading this. I mean, it is a monthly series, so it is pretty easy to follow. And as for the anime, well, I probably won't be going back to it. So if you really dislike the Boruto anime, give the manga a chance. You might find it more enjoyable than the anime like I did, so at least give it a shot. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe as it really helps out the channel, and take care.